and saying, look, we don't really care as long as someone's not on the Gnar. It's been one of his best picks so far in the LPL, and they take that one away. So kind of saying to them, right, cool, we're going to get at least one more OP, as you say. So even if we don't get the Taliyah and the Wukong, we'll get the Zeri.
Yeah, I feel like the Care is one of the best Taliyahs that we have, though, in the league as well. So maybe you just end up going for the Zeri Taliyah for FPX. You give the Wukong across to Beichuan, and then just try and play through a style that is much more... Yes, you've got like a strong top lane, and sure, you've got a strong jungler, but we've got two of the big threats on this patch in our carry roles, and Wukong struggles against Taliyah still in the same way he struggles against Poppy. Gnar is going to struggle against that. Zeri will be in a great spot, and with the Sivir band as well, your kind of go-to counter in that scenario has gone off the board as well.
Yeah, it looks like exactly what they're going to go for here. The Taliyah, they're taking their time with it because they want to make sure. But TT now, he feels like you're going to have to go for the Wukong. We saw for RNG versus RA earlier.
Oh, wait.
Taliyah. What?
Sorry, you just go Kalista Renata. Like, Renata has actually been banned away so frequently that I completely forgot she existed as a champion. You just take Kalista Renata here as TT, and I actually think you're in a pretty good spot. Especially FPX have gone for very short-range picks.
Wait to see. No, they're going to go for the Ryze, so... You're going through all these different iterations of draft there, Dagda, but sadly for you, they are going to go with their own setup. I will say again, Ucal very, very, very solid on that. Ryze does have a similar play style in terms of how he's able to move around the map with the Taliyah, but then, like you mentioned, the seismic shove, the control with the unraveled earth that you gain with the Taliyah, very, very underrated, I feel, in a lot of these situations. And TT now, they got to figure out where they want to kind of put their jungle. It looks like they're happy to go with the Viego into the Wukong, so... Looks like FPX, they feels like they got three what could have been red side bans.
I still think taking the Renata here as FPX is a good shout, or taking your top lane, because even though the jungle isn't locked in, Lee Sin, Wukong, the Xin Zhao still available that can all do really well into the Viego in the early stages. Honestly, also keeping the opportunity for Clid to flex that Taliyah into the jungle if needs be, which always works out. But Kalista banned away. I imagine that we're probably going to see the something like a Draven band away here as well from Kepler. I know that Kepler hasn't picked up the Draven before. And then you can first pick the Renata here as FPX.
Yeah, the big thing with the Renata is that she has an incredibly weak first few levels. If you can get on top of her, you can kill her very, very quickly. So we'll see what the side of FPX want to try and ban out as the last little pick, but they are going to have a Jinx coming out. So they're kind of taking away some of those big late game options and forcing the likes of TT on maybe into something like an Aphelios into what could well be a Zeri and Renata bot lane for FPX.
Yeah, so there's the Wukong band away. So we kind of talked about the Xin Zhao probably being the pick for Clid, but I really do like just taking the Renata here. Renata is so incredibly strong. You got still TT more than likely going to be going towards some sort of short range composition. We have seen Caitlyn come in as a little bit of an answer to the Zeri if you want to go towards that as TT, and maybe that's why they're a little bit hesitant about taking the Renata. They want to see exactly what the answer is going to be. But yeah, if this is Kaisa, I think unfortunately the Renata can just come through here for TT. Aphelios Renata still incredibly strong. Kaisa Renata very strong as well. Like, you either way, I'm just shocked Renata has gotten this far through the draft.
Yeah, the Kaisa going to be locked in here. One of those picks that doesn't really see a lot of play, but when you've got yourself 4 or 5 AD carry bans already off the table, definitely doesn't work there. But the Renata not even going to be looked at right now by TNT.
There we go.
Well, they're still hovering through it, so there is a lot of, kind of straight up dive potential here for the side of TT. So maybe FPX just want to go back onto something that can give you that sort of safety, that kite ability with something like the Braum. And yeah, sadly, you shall not get your wish. You can stop talking about Renata.
I don't want to, though, because I
no,
think
it's too bad. It's not on the screen. Get over it.
Because the thing is, like, so yes, Braum can offer that disengage as well. I just think the ability to enable Zeri to go a little bit deeper is going to be much stronger. The problem that I'm seeing on FPX's side as well is that you don't have a huge amount of engage tools. So like a well-placed Braum ult can try and get people into a fight, but you're actually going to be looking more to try and see if you can get your poke off with the Zeri and the Taliyah, and then kind of hoping that TT try to overextend in towards you. Kepler as well, going to be on this Kaisa. So you got a good amount of dive tools coming through with the Gnar, the Kaisa, the Viego as well on TT side. We're going to have to see if that'll be enough for them to try and take these fights down.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they're able to kind of work with it, because again, these are the two kind of teams where the OPs and stuff like that can start to be a bit more muddied in the water depending on how you execute on them as well. So we did see Zeri earlier today for the RA versus RNG game, where the Zeri just could not do anything. And I feel like if you can replicate that style for here for TT, where you're just getting on top of Lwx, you're not letting them, you know, plant his feet and just kite around these different fights, that's where this game can get very, very sketchy for the side of FPX. But they've got themselves a Taliyah. The Taliyah has been showing such a high presence and high mastery as well from so many of our different top mid laners. I think Care, like you mentioned earlier, is one of the best Taliyahs we have in the league. So if he's able to kind of get unlocked, get around this map and make himself known, this is where the game could start to turn into FPX's favor.
It also fits FPX's style a hell of a lot more here, right? Care being able to have an opportunity to roam, Clid on something that can be a bit more aggressive in the early stages. Lwx and Hong as well on this later scaling AD carry, and even somewhat having the counter pick is always a little bit worrisome for anyone that goes up against them. So I think this is definitely more of a comfort draft for FPX, and we're just going to have to see if they can try and execute on it.
We will wait and see. No more theories, though, as we jump onto the Rift. We'll have both mid laners taking up the spell books, so curious to see where they end up going. And I love that Care is prioritizing the cleanse over the teleport right now. Recognize he can use the teleport when he needs to, but the cleanse is going to be probably a little bit more valuable, especially at the early stages, the early levels of this mid lane matchup. If Ucal can get down that Rune Prison alongside something like the Root from Beichuan, he is in a hell of a lot of trouble. But we'll have to wait and see. And for FPX, this is, again, a big moment for them. You know, you're looking at being potentially knocked out of playoffs here in terms of the short term, being brought from 9th to 11th. If you lose this matchup, you don't own the head-to-head versus OMG. You lost that bout 2-1, and now you're 1-0 down against TT. We can see Beichuan and Clid kind of just being annoying to each other. Clid kind of seeing if he can take away his own Raptors, but it's going to delay quite a bit. And actually, we're going to see the big Raptors. It's kind of a split. It's like, you can have those three, I'll have these three. But no, you can have the big one instead. It's like trying to change, you know, the chicken nuggets between you and a sibling.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very much of annoyance for Clid, but should still be able to move it to the spot side. Care taking a lot of damage off this initial early poke, though.
Oh, lordy. That was so smart from Beichuan. Gets the stun out straight away. And Care now, without a flash, he has to be so careful in this mid lane.
Yeah, especially on that health bar. I mean, Flash Rune Prison from Ucal could be a disaster for Care, especially if Beichuan wants to go for a repeat gank. Care obviously having that cleanse, gonna come in massively clutch now with the summoner spells of his Flash being burnt, but yeah, you just nice play in the early stages for Beichuan to come out with this, and it's cool to see how Beichuan has kind of grown in the LPL. Like, we kind of always talk about his meteoric rise into FPX. Like, he joined FPX Blaze 2 weeks later. He's on the main FPX roster. A guy that was known as an Echo one trick in solo queue that hadn't really got used to competitive. But now that he's come across the TT, we can really see him getting used to that competitive style, and now finding a ton of success even on picks that are away from his Echo of home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing is that you're looking at Beichuan as a potential jungler that can become the, you know, the catalyst of this team. I think TT were very much looking at a side that were reliant on one player, and a lot of our smaller teams are. You think of Shun on the side of IG, or even, you know, Beichuan. A lot of junglers effectively on the side of Team WE, but it does become very prevalent, I feel like, for a lot of different players, that when you're able to kind of have confidence in your team, and Beichuan does have confidence in his team in this split, they are able to just kind of freely express themselves that little bit more. They're not overforcing anything. They know they have the power and the presence to be able to make things happen on their own rights.
Well, it looks like Beichuan might try and make a little bit more of a issue here for Clid. Has the push here for Ucal in mid lane. You know that the red side buffs are all up for Clid because you spotted out that the bottom side camp's been taken. And it looks like Beichuan will stop off for the scuttle on his way in, but could look for an invade on red buff here.
Will be a little dangerous as he doesn't have priority on top side, but like you said, he has got the mid lane pushing in for himself, and they're actually going to, I think they might go straight back for the Raptors again. But Clid this time around, recognizing there was a ward right there on his pit, so he's just going to be able to kind of keep himself out of vision right now. You still have a whole topside camps here for TT to take. Beichuan, though, not to be outdone. We will see Summit getting jumped on here. He doesn't have a lot of mana, and they're going to try and predict the flash. Summit holding onto the trigger finger. I like that.
Yeah, well played by Somewhat. Cool, under pressure, manages to walk away from this. And also, crucially, will buy time for Clid to try and clear out some of these camps. You have a lot of cap advantage there for Beichuan because he was able to steal away some of the early Raptors, CS in mid, getting some of the bot side camps, but he actually hasn't managed to clear out his own top side yet. So having this advantage now, at least when it comes to tempo, with Beichuan investing on top side, will mean that Clid gets some time to even up in the jungle match.
Yeah, Summit will have to use his TP to get himself back into lane, but does have a Sheen, so should be doing pretty damn well. And in terms of that particular matchup, Hoya goes back, picks up a Cole, as we see now both junglers. We're going to keep an eye on where Beichuan can make things happen. Ucal trying to go toe-to-toe in this mid lane, has used a lot of his mana as Hong has freed himself from the constraints of bot side. And Ucal, you knew he was there, but I don't think I think he knows that he's going to be under no real threat with the lack of mana here on the Taliyah.
Yeah, Hung was just there to just help Care push that wave. They're not really sure on what the pathing is from Beichuan right now. They weren't sure if he's going to reset, go towards his second camp spawnings, his level 2 camp spawning on bot side, or if instead he was just going to go and try and go for a mid lane play, knowing that Care wanted to reset. But instead, Beichuan has now cleared out his camps and will look for a reset. But look at the item difference that you're seeing because Clid has had 2 resets in, cleared the camps with a little bit more experience as well. Means that he is starting to get back into this matchup. Although Beichuan will at least get a nice little present for himself when he goes home with the amount of gold that he has.
Oh yeah, he's going to be up about, probably a Caulfield's Warhammer, or not Caulfield's Warhammer. I forget, Hearthstone Axe, I believe it. No, it is Caulfield's Warhammer. Yeah, it's Caulfield's Warhammer. I'm trying to. It's the blue and the brown one. That's all I know. It's just kind of moving forward with it. But yeah, should be able to keep himself relatively healthy. He's actually looking for something in this bot side and maybe looking to try and maybe contest around this dragon. But like you said, hasn't really gone back just yet. So very difficult for them to really make something of a contest on this scuttle, and honestly for the dragon as well. So should just be FPX picking up the first dragon of the game. We do get Beichuan going finally back and actually gets himself a Sheen and the components of a Caulfield's Warhammer. So he's actually in a pretty big spike right now if he can get back out on the map.
Yeah, but with the advantage that they have, it looks like FPX going to try and start up this dragon. As you say, Beichuan will have an advantageous spot if he can get down here, especially when you're looking at the item differences between Kepler and Lwx. But looks like Clid actually going to pull it off that objective and instead look towards mid lane.
Yeah, gonna look towards mid lane. Beichuan now in this bot side, and honestly, with the way TT are aggressing, it feels like they're the ones that are gonna have the advantage, and they should. Like I just said, the Sheen has been completed for Beichuan, but Clid is undeterred as of the moment. Gonna see if they can get a flash in. Everything whiffs right there. Literally not a single thing touches Beichuan, as he's just too fly to catch out.
Yeah, Beichuan didn't want to try and turn that because Care had that push in mid. Weaver's Wall is available, so we're a little bit worried about any sort of play down onto the bottom side, but now Ucal will have control over this mid lane and may look to try and either punish Care a little bit, although gets hit by the seismic shove.
Yeah, looks like Care does have his flashback and available to him, so definitely in a bit of a better position than he was a couple of minutes ago. But Lwx goes very aggressive, gets the ultimate off. They're going to try and fully engage on top of this. Beichuan trying to see if he can make this one work. There's the Weaver's Wall that you were talking about. Beichuan doesn't quite get the execute though, and that's going to be Clid keeping him and his team alive. Double kill coming out for Lwx, and maybe even a little bit more. Triple kill to start off this Zeri, and we're going to see just how OP she can be.
Great fight from FPX, utilizing the fact that Care can get down to that fight at the same time as Ucal, but is able to cut off Ucal from being a part of the equation. Now Ucal needs to be very, very careful. FPX will get Dragon, and we'll just back away.
I want to see as well, because Ucal's Realm Warp is down. I want to see what happened there in the replay. Hopefully our observers do end up showing us that, why we didn't see the Ryze coming back.
He just got cut off. He just got cut off, yeah. So that's the thing is, like, the Realm Warp is great in trying to follow the Weaver's Wall, but the thing is, if you're not able to get fully into the fight, and with good pressure from Care on the Weaver's Wall, you can actually just cut off Ucal from being able to interact. But TT going to respond in kind. If you take Dragon, we could put our pressure topside, and they should get Rift Herald, which honestly might end up being worth it if they can get some gold.
If they can get some gold, and Ucal going to get himself a little bit there as they do get the kill off the top side, but YaoYao does pop down the ultimate to see if he can maybe disengage Zeri. Hong finally has the Glacial Fissure, going to use it immediately. He kind of goes wide, and YaoYao's very isolated here. He might be run down just a little bit, but they don't land the W there from Lwx. While this is all happening,
Yeah,
I will say, you're going to say Kepler on the bot side, just getting so much free time.
Yeah, so kill on top for TT, Rift Tower for TT, and the plates on bottom with a massive wave being lost for Lwx. Now, he does have 3 kills, which is going to help, but I mean, either way, just great spot to be in. We're getting the stall points here on the play, but you wanted to ask what happened to Ucal. Watch where the Realm Warp goes to. We get this fight kicking off, Weaver's Wall comes down, and boom, Ucal can't get into the fight. So even though Ucal's in the vicinity, he's not adding anything to this fight. The fact that Beichuan goes down as well before he gets the reset is crucial, because getting that health back, starting to get a few more of these abilities out, could have been the difference maker, but the 4 versus 3 is too strong for FPX.
Ucal now going to see if he can make something work here onto Care, who does get the flip back already. So there's the hook coming out and a flash as well. So Care does get his summoner used, but that's what it's there for, Dagda.
Yeah, great reactions though from Care. Like, I'm pretty sure YaoYao wasn't spotted on that ward that's in River. So that was just seeing the anchor come out of the bush, and Care manages to react. But still, even with FPX getting these early leads, you still see TT are trying to fight back. So we have to now look at how FPX are going to try and utilize Lwx. This is the man with the advantage for FPX. They need to start playing into him with Care. Start getting these advantages and trying to deny Beichuan with this Rift Herald. Oh, hang on, Summit.
Hoya tried to go for a little bit of an all-in there. Sadly, his boulder toss did not quite land onto Summit on the second try, so is just going to use his ult there to try and just clear off the rest of the wave. But yeah, like you said, I think FPX need to try and get, make use of Lwx on this, big power spike that he's on. I will say it is being kind of mitigated right now because Kepler got so many plates on bot side and so much free time as well. He's actually gone up and got himself his Kraken Slayer already. So it is a bit of a mismatch at the moment, but Lwx should not be too far away as he did go for the Berserker Greaves first.
Yeah, it's the Berserker Greaves first, and Lwx just hasn't reset, so we'll take the tower plates. Won't actually get to reset for a little while, so maybe if TT can make a play on bot side here, this is where they could have an advantage, and Ucal should have push in mid, but Beichuan is moving into the mid to just try and help with the push, but will be spotted by Care.
Yeah, will be spotted, and maybe trying to move this back up towards that top side. You do see Clid here. Actually goes for a reset, so he's not going to be here should Summit get caught out. You will have a flash available here, but there's the Realm Orb coming out. He does have the leap strike there. There's Ucal trying to just burn him down. They will get the Mega Gnar over the side, and they will stun him down and take him out. Ucal basically tanking up everything there, and will use the heal from the Summoner Spellbook to make sure he stays fairly safe.
Question mark though is, what do FPX try and do in kind? The answer is not too much, although they may actually try and turn this around on Beichuan on the top side if the Rift Tower goes down, but TT just going to back away. You had the reset coming through from Lwx and Hong, so they actually weren't in a position to try and follow up.
Oh, look at the mid from the mid lane. Care. It's going to be able to try and maybe use a Weaver's Wall here, and has got a cleanse, but not quite able to land the seismic shove onto the damage. So Hoya will still flash, but they do not get anything else out of the play. So now with Dragon spawning in 50 seconds, we're going to see the replay or the reset coming out here from TT. They have got themselves a Rift Herald. They need to drop it pretty soon, as we can see flash from Hung as he knew Lwx was on the side.
Yeah, so a little bit sloppiness coming through from TT here. Like, Hoya thinking he was out of vision, but not remembering that someone had leap strike to a ward, so knew where exactly he was, and that's why he had to burn his flash. Ucal as well, not really considering that, hey, there's push in bot side, Hung can roam. So starting to see some cracks for TT, but this is what I wanted to see exactly from TT, utilizing any sort of pressure to try and get the bot tower and get some gold onto Kepler, but FPX are in a position to respond. Will it get the charge? It will. The tower will go down, and crucially, it looks like Kaisa got an auto attack onto the tower, so gold as well going over to Kepler. Dragon, though, here for FPX, and I think TT will just give this one. They're happy that they managed to sneak away that tower.
Yeah, got the tower, got the full plates as well, so just keep the gold almost dead even in this game. Actually gives TT a tiny little bit of an advantage, but We said it's all about where you're able to kind of use those advantages, who's those advantages on. You can see on FPX, it's very much on Lwx, but on the side of TT, it's got to be on Ucal. He's the one with 2 kills. He's got himself his Luden's Tempest already, as we can see Hoya trying to go aggressive on the Summon. We've been looking at this matchup of the Gnar versus the Jax pretty much all day today. And Dagda, I'm curious about your thoughts in here, because we are seeing the Jax as a quote-unquote pseudo counter to the side of the Gnar, but the Gnar seems to be doing semi-alright. So tell me what this matchup is supposed to do.
Yeah, the big one is when you start to hit this point. Level 9 hit for Summit, and also having that Divine Sunder. This is where this matchup starts to change around, because you've just got a hell of a lot more all-in potential, and the trading pattern for Summit where you leap strike in auto counter strike becomes way more difficult for Hoya to deal with. So this is where it becomes a bit easier for Summit, and now you start to outscale. But the question is, what's happening here for FPX?
Well, what is happening? We're going to see the Weaver's Wall there as Beichuan gets himself the hell out of dodge. There was a hell of a lot of members of FPX corralling on his location. But it's a Weaver's Wall down, so that's not going to be much else used out of it. You got a Heartbreaker out of Beichuan, that's about it. So these are small little moments here where it does kind of delay the tempo here from FPX.
It's huge. I mean, you've just used the Weaver's Wall to try and pick the jungler before Rift Herald, but you don't actually get to connect with it. So instead now, Beichuan going to move over. Will Spot Summit is in the vicinity, but not having Weaver's Wall to try and shut this one down should mean TT get this Rift Herald uncontested.
Yeah, pretty much. We will see them, though, going from bot lane to mid lane as they go from a reset, but it's a little bit slow for my likings, and I think they're going to be a little bit late on the play. I will say that, though, they are trying to commit quite a lot to it. The Rift Herald goes down and is secured, as TT should be able to just kind of get themselves out, and this would have been a fantastic moment, Dagda, for a Weaver's Wall to cut off and escape, but you don't have it available.
Yeah, it was a good attempt from Care, but unfortunately just not able to connect. And once more, though, we're kind of seeing that, you know, FPX not getting the chance to play around Lwx, but they want to change this fact here, as Kepler could be caught.
He could be caught, but you got Beichuan and YaoYao now finally here. Now Hong in a little bit of a bad situation. They will get the stun down onto Clid and clear out the wave. Still have Care off to the side. As you can see on the minimap there, Ucal is just hovering towards this top side. So good moves here from TT. They're not only answering for FPX, but they're also threatening on other sides of the map. So they are just kind of coming out ahead in general when it comes to this mid game. As I say that, Summit goes very aggressive. Hoya thought about going back in, but already Ucal's starting to do some significant damage.
Yeah, and Ucal should be able to push in on this top side. Fine, now you have to send Care bot to collect that massive wave that TT had pushed in, which means TT now get to push in mid, get to kind of pick up their spot in the mid lane, and continue to keep control here.
Yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and he is just going to die. Had not got flash, needed someone to get to stand behind him, but just not able to be in range. That's a bit of a big mistake there from the FPX support. That's going to open up this mid lane. That means they can't look for pressure around this this river. And honestly, right now, it's starting to feel like TT, they're turning the tides again.
Yeah, TT are just doing a really good job of abusing their globals, and now Clid is gone.
Clid, he has to use the Crescent Guard to try and keep himself alive and safe, but you can get the damage mitigated, but you cannot stop the CC as they get on top of him. They're going to be a flash from Lwx as Ryze does go down. Finally, Summit can come in here as Hoya does go down. That's a good trade back here, and Summit's not done just yet. He's got himself 2 kills, looking for more, but very difficult to do it at this stage in the game, but Summit already starting to come online.
Yeah, these last few passage of plays, TT have just been doing an stellar job of abusing the fact that Weaver's Wall wasn't up. They create that big wave bot, cares to go and deal with it, doesn't have Weaver's Wall, so can't leave mid for a while. You've got Ucal has been playing top and between mid consistently, but they overextend that bit too far, and now FPX fight back instantly. Summit should get this bot lane tower. Zeri should get mid lane tower. And now, with a minute until the dragon as well, suddenly this is where FPX rip back tempo advantage in their favor. We'll catch it here in the replay. So, Ucal trying to use the fact that the wave is on top side to go, right, I can realm warp in. We've got the numbers advantage. But Clid survived for so long here. Great Weaver, seismic shove as well, means that they're in trouble. And Summit just abandons the top wave. He's like, look, if I can pick up some kills here, that's far more important. And it ends up just being a disaster for TT as they overextend for the pick.
Well, 26 seconds, it is a pretty much dead even game. It is a Cloud Soul, but FPX are 2 dragons away, so they would love to get this one there and maybe set a 5-minute timer. We will see a TP coming in. That's going to be Hoya joining in on the action as both sides are starting to roam themselves up. You've got 2 items onto your Zeri. You have 2 items onto your Jax, or nearly 2 items onto your Jax, excuse me, as Care starts to get pushed away by Beichuan. Dragon has spawned, and FPX, they've got someone on a flank.
LWX needs to carry this. If he falls, there is no hope for FPX, but he is in a good spot here, and TT will be looking to see if they can set up this monstrous engage with Hoya, the point and click from YaoYao, try and enable Kepler to carry through and be that dive in the back, but Care. He's caught.
He's caught. He's dead. He got the cleanse, but he's going to go into stasis. Ucal is there to put down the last of the CC. Now you're going to try and make this a 5v4 in favor of TT. FPX, though, Kepler in a lot of trouble. And you can see now they're jumping straight on top of the resets are coming in. They've caught LWX as a triple out of the same fight comes out straight away. Summit may be big, but he's not big enough. A quadra for Beichuan. And TT have taken over this game.
Care isn't even the best Taliyah in this game. Beichuan with the seismic shove hits 3 straight into the Heartbreaker and tears apart FPX. Beichuan with a quadra kill gets the dragon. That's what TT needed. We'll see it on the replay here. So Beichuan starts this off. Care trying to get a flank but no vision means that TT all turn around. Kepler and everyone backs away, but I want you to keep your eyes on Beichuan after they get the kill on Care, because YaoYao does get caught. But watch here, Beichuan with the seismic shove flicks 3 members, gets the stun, and instantly over the wall managed to finish them all off. Great play from the TT jungler against his old team.
Yeah, really, really well played. And Beichuan has just been going from strength to strength. Comes back out onto the Rift. And I will say that this is just kind of, again, FBX, why we have question marks over them. They have such great times, great plays, but Care getting caught out right there, it's just not really what you need. If you had the Taliyah there, the Weaver's Wall, the work ground to be able to kind of push down the rocks, it just makes it so much more different of a fight. And even without the Taliyah, it looked like FBX might have been able to turn it, but great play coming out from TT, and now they've got 2 items basically across the board. They're trying to threaten now towards this top side to make sure they can guarantee the tier 1, and they've got themselves a 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and 2 items on towards Beichuan means he's a serious threat. Having that Kempunk sword is such a great addition, super good value for money, and with the amount of healing you're going to see coming through from Jax, Zhao, Zeri as well, going to be an incredibly strong pickup. We'll have to see though how TT are going to try and keep themselves in check here, because Summit is going to have control over the side lane. That's unfortunately just the way that this matchup goes. FPX still at least pushing in and getting some control over the river, and it looks like Ucal, because he doesn't have the realm warp, can't really try and contest on side lanes for the moment, but that should change the second he gets that realm warp back up and available, and that's where maybe we can start to see TT pushing these waves in, establishing vision control on top side, trying to look for picks, trying to see if they can use Ucal's opportunity on the realm warp to move around. They just have to be so careful that FPX aren't setting up for some sort of pick with Care to separate TT.
See if they can get the separation in these fights. Like you said, it's better off for TT if they can get those segmented fights coming in for themselves, but we'll have to wait and see. We're coming up now to 22 minutes. It's a 2 dragons to 1, 2,000 gold lead for TT, and 2 turrets to 2. So we're still waiting to see that top tier 1 go down. Ucal should be able to take it pretty much on the next push or 2, but he is still starting to stack up very, very nicely. I think this Ryze really is starting to look like a pick for TT that could just work so well. And you just forget when he's outside of the meta how much damage he does and how much he's able to kind of facilitate for his team, working towards that death cap, already starting to be a big menace in these team fights. And the point and click CC is just so powerful. So for FBX, I want to see them maybe be a bit more creative, not looking to try and also just straight up, you got 3 kills on the LWX at the start. He's now 4-1-3, still doing fine, but very much not the kind of overtaking carry performance we expect from this caliber of AD carry on this caliber of a champion.
Well, that's the thing. These haven't really been team fights. This point-and-click CC from Ryze, from the Nautilus, works better in skirmishes. And that's what has been playing here for TT. They catch out Care, they're forcing uneven fights. You're not actually getting to fight front-to-back styles. Like, that's actually where FPX, in theory, can actually try and play out, but again, not really being able to engage on their own terms because, you know, Clid and Hong, not exactly great engaged champions, and now they're getting engaged on.
Yeah, they're getting engaged on. They put down the exhaust. They even get the Heartbreaker in. He survives for a little bit, but only to delay the inevitable. Now 40 seconds without Summit. Yes, he does have a TP, but look at the wave states, Dagda. They're in a perfect position for TT to force this.
You still have to be careful. Clid is here, though. Can look for the steal. May not be the 50-50 you want to start, but TT, they burger flipped these before.
They burger flip these all the time because they are the masters of the flip. They're going to try and go for this one, but they shall make themselves a gourmet burger. They will use Hoya off the back of it. As you can see, Lwx sees low health bars, but the Realm Warp brings everybody out. YaoYao trying to see if he can run away. They're going to try and catch out Kepler, who does a great utilization of the ultimate and the flash. He's still running away from this one here. There's going to be a Glacial Fissure to maybe catch people out. But TT, they get themselves their flip. They get 3 members out, and they got what they came for.
Now they're going to try and contest on towards this dragon, though. It will be dragon number 3 in 30 seconds. TP available for Hoya. Beichuan will be a little bit late. Pushing mid, establishing vision in towards this river is going to be crucial, but we'll see this here. Like, so incredibly close. This is where I always get nervous with TT. They have no problem trying to flip these. They were hoping the Hoya would be able to go over the wall and then keep Clid out of the pit, so you end up in a much better spot, but not able to do so. The Realm Warp doesn't save as many people as they're hoping, but it does mean that 3 will survive.
Here we go. We're going to go for another fight right now, Dagda. TT got themselves back out onto the map. You can see Beichuan moving himself around at Summit, looking to try and go for that flank, but now knows he's been spotted, so doesn't want to go for that fight just yet. Look at the waves again in mid lane for TT. In top lane, they've got the pressure around the map. They're not under time limits, really, to try and make this one work. And again, it's not even soul just yet. This is just for soul point for FPX.
And put Summit in a good flank spot. This could be the engage that they're looking for. Remember, that's the crucial part of this plan for FPX. And TT are struggling. Hoya now getting his Gnar bar ult.
Yeah, getting his Gnar bar ult, has already used his flash to try and make sure he doesn't get caught by a seismic shot, and just killed off straight away. They've brought the Jacks away, but this is just kind of sloppy coming out from TT. They weren't quite sure where they wanted to go, and I think Hoya just gets a little bit too comfortable with where he was positioned. Doesn't really have the resistances at this stage of the game to make that kind of a play.
But that's the problem. Gnar is so reliant on that bar, and because Hoya was dead and he'd only TP'd in, they didn't actually have anywhere they could try and stack it up. No wards, no mid-wave, no anything for Hoya to try and get into a position where he could engage. So with that, FPX will get third dragon. They get some kills. They don't get Baron off of TT because Hoya, of course, didn't have it. And looks like the other person that has Baron is actually going to utilize it to nab himself an out mid-tower.
Yeah, get that more open pressure. As you can see, the Realm Warp coming out. Gonna have the seismic shove come in, but Ucal, very nicely done, does keep himself safe and get himself an objective. So really nicely done here by Ucal again in this game. We talked about it in game 1, how he's just been kind of going from strength to strength, really finding his own footing on this team. And honestly, it does feel like even a little bit behind on this game, he has been able to just make the plays matter.
Let's see though, because again, this is such an incredibly close game. 3 items already for the Zeri on that bottom side. 6, 1, and 4. Lwx is the carry for FPX. He needs to be the one that's enabled in the team fights. And thus far, he's been doing an okay job of trying to get in position. But FPX haven't been able to set up properly for him to really take off. Whereas when you look across at TT, they have great dive potential. If they can get YaoYao to get that point and click CC onto Lwx, dive in with Beichuan, Hoya, find these moments. But TT, they're not even worried about trying to find fights at the moment. Ucal has just been such a threat around the map right now.
And again, Ucal just roaming so quickly. He went back after taking the mid-tier 2, TP's bot lane and says, cool, you're committing for a tier 1, I get a tier 2. And that's just how this game is going to go. It is 10-10 in kills, 3 dragons to 1 in favor of FPX, and 5 turrets to 3 in favor of TT. So there's always been a reaction from the side of TT. They've always gotten a trade-off as the death cap finally comes in, and a third item, Kepler, coming in now with the Infinity Edge. So they've got some 3-item carries that are going to do some serious damage.
FPX going to push up mid lane though. Summit pushing in a bot side. Summit still has much more control than Hoya does, but TT are just collapsing.
They're looking to try and find out Ucal, but look at Kepler on the back side of this one here. Ucal is putting out some serious damage here onto Care, and he takes him out in a 4v1. He's actually taking them out. He's putting in the work, and he eventually goes down, but that was huge from the side of the TT mid laner. Now someone's trying to come in on here. YaoYao will try and get himself away from this one here, but Kepler can still do some decent work. It's kind of a fight between 2 different sides. Both these solo carries being taken out here by TT and FPX, as it's a 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Kepler managing to take out Summit on one side. Beichuan trying to play decoy on the opposite, but doesn't have the damage with Lwx's heal to take down the FPX AD carry. So all said and done, great turnaround from Ucal, who just barely got caught out. But look at the damage that this Ryze is churning out. You'll see it here. I think Ucal, yeah, just barely gets spotted on the blue, tries to run for the hills. Care comes in thinking, oh, I'll be all right, but 2-level advantage for Ucal with all the plays that have been made. Wow. And that damage is insane from Ucal.
And then we can see the rest of the fight come in here. Summit kind of goes into a 1v3, and then so does Beichuan. So it ends up not really, again, being not a full 4v4 or 5v5. It ends up just being a 1v3 on 2 different sides. So Hoya almost going down. It would have been great for FPX to be able to make that one happen, but Kepler able to take that kill. And we see the Realm Orb coming into the mid lane as Lwx has just been caught out. He flashes away, but he has no heal now as YaoYao is just trying to keep everyone away from the side of FPX. But TT, they've already not really got anyone to follow up on top of this one. Ucal actually got caught in the minions, so he couldn't walk forward and had to clear them.
That is heartbreaking for TT. You can see them trying to collapse onto Lwx, who was that bit overextended, but Zeri's so slippery. And now a big engage tool down with YaoYao gone. Baron in 6 seconds. Beichuan got the better of Clid in that last smite. He's going to need to try and do it again here.
He's going to have to try and go for it now as FPX start this one off. They will absolutely melt this Baron. You can see it going down so quickly. Beichuan finds himself on the backside of the pit, puts down a ward, and you can see FPX, they don't want to flip it. They don't want to go back to spring of 2022 as they can finally look for the fight. Ucal, the big damage dealer, the only real threat to Lwx, has been taken out of this fight. Hoya has nowhere to go in his mini Gnar form, and Kepler's going to have to try and run away as well. Heartbreaker by Beichuan to try and keep himself alive and healthy, but it looks like it's going to be a trade for the Baron back down towards his bot side because the Dragon Soul's coming up.
Yeah, you've now got no ultimate on Beichuan, though, no flash. Beichuan can't contest this. TT stopped the Baron, but will give the Cloud Soul over to FPX. And honestly, with the way that this game has been going, being able to hold on to, well, trying to deny the Baron could have been nice, but with the kills going across into Ucal and Hoya, FPX will turn back over towards that objective regardless.
Yeah, they're going to try and get both sides of this coin as they can maybe look for a steal from Beichuan, but no Heartbreaker, no flash, no real chance in hell to make that one work. 9-1-6 here for Lwx on this Zeri. We talked about the power pick already starting to go up to full build. Probably will have it as we can look at this fight now here because Ucal just straight up gets caught out. You can see now Hung just trying to keep everyone away, but Clid very well played just to get himself on top of the carry.
Yeah, 2 autos with the 3 Talon Strike and then flashes with the Audacious Charge to get the knock up instantly. Doesn't give a chance for Ucal to respond. And that will be at least 2 kills going over towards FPX alongside the Dragon Soul and Baron. This is where we got to see now what FPX can do because it's a lot easier now for someone to try and be a threat in one of these side lanes. It may be easier for Care and Lwx to start looking at these towers as well because those auto attacks incredibly short range on both these champions.
Yeah, we'll say you can see Ucal now pushing in the top side. Does not have TP at the moment, still sitting on the cleanse, so not quite able to kind of go for something there. But now Summon, he's going to be the target. They don't have any real flash to get him away. He will have the counter strike and get himself over with the leap strike as well. But you've left your bot side. They could look to try and end the game because someone has TP.
Yeah, no, the resets will come through. They'll lose their bot tower, but I think it's a good call from TT. They kind of knew that this was going to be inevitable. They don't have great wave clear on their side, so not being able to clear out the wave, they decided to try and make the pick happen and force FPX to play on a defensive footing, but not able to do so, and FPX are still here.
YaoYao gets separated off alongside Beichuan. It's kind of a 2v2 on either side, but Lwx is just too big. He's taking on so much on this team. You can see now with someone TPing in, they don't have a wave right now, so a little bit overzealous as eventually that one does go down. Lwx is just tanking the turret because he does not care, and he is full build right now, Dagda. He's got himself his Rune on Hurricane and a GA, so you're not going to have to kill him once. You're going to have to kill him twice as Hoya gets caught out. He has flash, eventually gets to use it and keeps himself alive, but now you need Ucal and you need Kepler to try and make this one work for your team, but there's just too much damage, there's just too much going on. FPX are tearing through them, absolutely nothing you can do as TT, and we're going to a game 3.
Hoya will fall, as will the Nexus alongside Kepler. FPX pushes all the way.
And off the back of some really nice play on that bot side, Lwx really did take the carry mantle that you gave to him, Dagda, and just ran with it at full speed into TT. And this is why we do have question marks over which one of these teams is better. It's why we assumed this series was going to be so close, because when they are able to get that momentum going, both these squads can make such good work of what they have available to them.
And it was fantastic plays coming through from FPX. We talked about it, the early stages, enabling Lwx massively, Care being able to get some of those plays down towards the bottom side. And this is where it all kind of started to go a bit wonky for TT. They did find one good fight where they managed to shut down Lwx. They caught Care out of position and that was it. But unfortunately, just wasn't enough. And even though TT did a decent job of trying to play through wave states, trying to find ways to keep FPX at bay, eventually it all kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it really did. I think the TT were going pretty good tit for tat. I feel like they had some great opportunities that they made for themselves, but FPX with this Zeri pick just kind of proved, and the Taliyah to be perfectly honest as well, just proving that these are the two strongest picks on the meta right now. I think that Zeri is still 100%. You should be picking it or banning it on either side. It just feels like you can't really let that one slip through your fingers, because you can see there, nearly 40,000 damage there for Lwx. Just eclipsing anybody else in the game.
Yeah, I mean, just absolutely destroying them. And look, you can look at the gold graph and see how close it really was to TT being able to take over, but Lwx had to be the one to stand up, and it with nearly 38,000 damage, Lwx was an absolute beast. The biggest gripe for TT was trying to actually get access to Lwx, because you could see so many times they're trying to find these creative moments with YaoYao trying to come in on a flank for the depth charge, seeing if Ucal could get into position then to follow up with the realm warp, and suddenly Kepler flies in with the killer instinct, but they just could not lock down this Zeri long enough before the cavalry arrived for FPX.
Yeah, it just feels like Zeri just offers up so much to your team, and just being able to poke people out well before a fight, of course, with the W, and then just the all-in effect of her ult alongside those resets for the movement speed, and the chain lightning as well. But we'll see now where the TT want to kind of take this one here, because they're going into a game 3. Both teams have won on red side now, so I don't know if that's an indication of what I want to go for. But I'm loving to see this adaptation. You mentioned it a little bit in the draft, but just the idea that red side can just leave open OPs, because it's like, well, fair enough. You get 1, we get 2. That's just how this song and dance is going to go. You don't have to go the same formulaic way in the draft, and we'll have to see what way it ends up kind of moving. But we're going to send it to a quick break, and when we return, we'll have